Hello and welcome to Grim Survival. I am standing out here. I'm right off of a parking lot actually, so I'm not that far out in the woods or anything like that. But it is a nice view nonetheless. I've been down here before in videos last year, so I am right off a parking lot. That's why there's a lot of trash laying around back here. Homeless people have been known to frequent this area. But yeah. Anyway, what I'm going to do out here today is do a test of the fire starters I have picked up and a new saw that I have. And I'm going to throw the links up in the description for these items, assuming I like them. If I don't like them, which I already know I like the saw because, yeah, I've seen it on many survival and bushcrafting channels, and I have no doubt about the saw whatsoever. But I am going to do a test and compare it to my other saw. The fire starters I've only seen a couple of videos on, so I'm just going to test them myself, see how they work. I intended to do a test of the fire starters I made using not fat wood, but I made fat wood using pine resin and using popsicle sticks. But I left those in the vehicle along with my jacket, which is, yeah, and I'm not going back up that hill and down that parking lot to get to them. I left my jacket out there, and it is kind of chilly out here. I think it's currently in the low 40s, not that bad. The wind is what's making me cold, so I did put on this rain jacket that's in my bug out bag, which I do have with me, by the way. It's there. I put on the rain jacket to block the wind. It's doing a very good job of that. So anyway, it's been raining out here a lot over the last couple of days, last few days. Everything's like mud where I'm standing. I have cleared away the leaves, as you can see, just using the boot, and made a nice little mud spot to test the fire starters. So I'm going to set this camera down and see if I can get a good spot and just walk you through what I'm doing here with the fire starters. Try to keep it in the frame so I can see it, maybe in the shadows so we can all see it. This tripod is not the best thing to be using in the mud like this, but nonetheless, here we are. We live, we learn. Don't forget your jacket. But it was hot in the car, so yeah. Easy mistake for people that are rushed is forgetting things. This is why you should always have something set up and ready to go with all of your stuff in it. This is why we do bug out bags. This is why we do what we do, so that we don't walk off without the things we need the most. Forgetting things like your jacket, for instance, is a bad thing. Remembering which pocket you stuffed things in that you're trying to test is kind of an annoying thing, but as long as they're actually in the pocket, not necessarily a bad. Alright, the video cut out there for a second for some odd reason. I don't know why. Not a clue, but probably because I hit a button. I'm going to show you this just to show you. Don't think less of me for it, but somebody bought me a smartwatch, and I'm using it to record the video. So I can actually watch the video on the smartwatch that's recording on my phone, and it allows me to record better quality picture videos using my Bluetooth earbud, which is what I'm using to record audio right now. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying it. Now, I'm not relishing the fact that this thing has a tracking device on it, and I will walk you through GPS jammers at a later time. Alright, this is my oh shit kit. Now, obviously, I have Bic lighters, obviously, but Bic lighters won't last forever. Ferro rods won't last forever. Eventually, you're going to have to learn to make fire out of sticks, and I have done it before. Bow drills, I have done it before, and I was successful at it, but I'm not doing that today. Alright, so one other thing I'm going to do with these fire starters is this. Now, the test I watched, a guy took a cup similar to that one. He put water into it similar to what I'm doing now, and he let the fire starter float on top of it for a while, and then he pulled it out and lit it. And I got to be quite honest with you, I was not impressed by that whatsoever. I mean, you can float a lot of things that are supposedly not fireproof, or not waterproof, and still light them on fire. That's just not, you know, a viable test in my opinion. And yeah, I've never used these before, so they're not open. They're about to be. I'm going to use the cheater method of opening this, trying not to leave any extra trash back here while I'm at it. So wish me luck on that. Alright, there we go. Now, to show you what I'm working with here, fire plugs. This is a 50 pack of fire plugs. I got them off of Amazon. What they are is wax, flammable wax infused cotton plugs, really. That's what it is. And yeah. So first, before I get started testing the first one, I am going to submerge this in the water. And I'm going to do it like so. I'm grabbing this with the multi-tool. I'm pinching it tight so it doesn't come out of there. And I'm dropping it down into the cup. As you can see, fire plug submerged completely. And it's going to stay there while I take another one of these things and actually see if it works properly. Now, the instructions for this, because it's a cotton ball, obviously you could take a Bic lighter and light one end of it. It'd probably be fine. But the instructions are to twist it. Wow, that's stiff. Twist it and expose the fine threads there in the middle. As you can see, hopefully you can see. If it would stop refocusing, it would be fine. And that's all that is that's cotton right there. So I'm going to twist it a couple times just to give it some extra surface space and pull some of the fibers loose a little bit. Now these things say they'll burn for 4 minutes. So they say. Now typically I use my multi-tool, my Leatherman Wave here, to do this. Strike the ferro rod, that is. But today I'm going to use the striker that came with it because my multi-tool is obviously being used for something else, as you just seen. So I'm burying this in the mud. Well, I hit it with a spark finally. This isn't working too well in the mud, obviously. Typically, if you're building a fire, especially in mud, you would have some kind of a base setup. You would not be doing it directly in the mud. That would be a bad plan. So let's see if I can make this work better. This works a lot better with without using this stupid striker. I can get more sparks and this and that and blah 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 blah. But come on now, quit being difficult. I don't like things that are difficult. I'm making this harder than it should be because I didn't set this up properly and I don't have a proper base. Now the plan out here today is not to actually start a fire, although I would love to do so. But I'm right off a parking lot. Somebody's going to see smoke and fire department probably show up. Hold still, you stupid sticks. So I'm having issues with it, obviously. I've buried it in the mud quite a bit. I probably don't have enough of the fine threads exposed. This is going to be fun with the wet one. My base isn't set up properly. I had no intention on actually coming out here and doing this right now, but here I am anyway. I'm tired of sitting inside recording videos, to be quite honest with you. I'm just not getting enough sparks in the right spot. This is being more difficult than it should. The guy on the video made this look a lot easier. There we go. Now it's actually burning. It's just because of the base that was the problem. The base was definitely not set up properly for that. So when I used something more stable, it took the spark really well, which is a good thing. And yes, this one is still in the water. It's floating down there. Now that thing's burning directly in the mud, which is not a recommendation, but if it's going to burn and it's supposedly waterproof, it should burn anywhere. It just should. So I'm not going to sit here and wait 4 minutes and make you suffer through that. Obviously, we'll watch it burn for a while I do my next test, if I can figure out where I put it. This is a piece of fat wood. This fat wood was bought from a store. This fat wood is very resinous. It's a very good thing to have. What I like to do with my fat wood is baton it down a little bit, and we'll see if I can get that on camera for you while that does its thing there. I like to split these in half. These things are pretty thick, so sometimes I even split it more than in half. And then yes, I'm resting this on my boot. I got my standard knife and I just hit it with my fist or with my hand and pull a small piece off of there. Now obviously with that thing burning like it is, I can just hover this over the fire and this is going to burn. And just to give you the demonstration, look at that. That's fat wood. Fat wood burns really well. Sticking it in the mud here to put it out, making sure my ferro rod's farther away. Now what I'm going to do next is try to get this on camera, is I'm going to try to feather stick this little bitty guy. And feather sticking is just well, just what I'm doing here. You're making little curls of wood. Now the goal is to make as many as absolutely possible with the wood. And this isn't the best knife for this because it's getting kind of dull. It needs to be touched up, and it is very thick, so it's not the best knife for that. Luckily I always have an extra knife somewhere, or 3 or 4. Now this is a lot thinner and a lot sharper of a knife. Just because I don't use it that often, it stays pretty sharp. The wood is very sticky right through there. I can see a lot of pine resin in it. I can see a ton of pine resin in it. I wonder if this thing can throw sparks. I don't think I've ever tested that. I didn't put a 90-degree angle on there, which is what is required. But I'm going to... No, it's too smooth. Now, this one as well won't throw sparks. The one in there will. Really will. So if all you have is the striker, all you have is the striker. Alright. That thing's been burning for about 2 minutes now, if I remember the time I started it correctly. What I'm going to try to do here is light this now with a ferro rod. I've done this before. The trick is to get the sparks right where you want them. And it's windy out here. I didn't come prepared to actually come outside and make a video, but I was watching The Angry Prepper, and he told me to get my ass outside, so here I am. He said, you prepper channels that constantly sit there, you know who you are. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know, Jason. So here I am sitting in the woods trying to start fires. It's still burning pretty good. I mean, that would start a fire in decent conditions. I wouldn't say it would in the rain. I really should have thought this out a little more. This is why when you're building fire or when you're in a survival situation, it pays to prepare all that you need to prepare before you just start striking ferro rods, wasting the longevity of your ferro rod, trying to light tiny little curls on your knife with this. So this isn't working too well because the curls are just not enough. What you really need is a pile of them, and this is too small of a piece of fat wood. So here we go. Let's just do this the right way and show you how it's actually supposed to be done. The thinner the curls, the better. The more of them you have, the better. That thing went out. I believe it lasted close to the 4-minute mark, but I'm going to say not quite. It could be due to the fact that it's in the wind and in the mud. That is a very likely possibility. Take your extra curls, put them around. Those things will light pretty well. Get them out of the mud. Use what you got at hand. And yes, just in case you're wondering, it is still in there. It's still submersed pretty good. The other one's out. I'm going to just rest this there and try to hit some sparks where I need them. This works so much better without this stupid thing. Alright, let's test this one just so I can use the multi-tool for what I use the multi-tool for. Now, this thing has been submersed for quite a while. I'm going to use the multi-tool because it's going to be easier to twist it and expose the interior threads. Oh sorry, you couldn't see. I was using the multi-tool to twist it and to expose the middle. And then I'm actually going to use the multi-tool and pull some of the threading out of here, just because that's going to make it easier. Again, I'm going to use this as a platform. Try not to set that thing on fire. Hopefully you're seeing this okay. That's the one I just pulled out of the water. I typically use the file on my multi-tool because the back end of it's rather sharp and it's really good for throwing sparks. It's better than the striker by far. I'm going to press this in, try to hold it still once I do. That's the hard part, I think, with this little bitty thing. And I'm actually having more issues sparking this thing with that than I was with the striker. I've done this so many times. Maybe it wasn't the file I used. Maybe it was one of these other tools that are a little bit thinner. Being way too delicate with this thing. Yeah, that's just not working. It's not throwing sparks. I've done it so many times with the multi-tool, but when you're trying to demonstrate, things just don't work right. Not quite. Let's try it like this. And my foot's falling asleep sitting like that. Always prepare your fires better than what I did here. This is a bad demonstration on how to get things ready to burn. Now this is the one that was submersed for a good 4 minutes or so. It's getting close, but there it goes. Nope, it went back out. Yeah, I'm burning that thing pretty good. The struggle is real, people. Just gonna try to shove it in the mud and do it that way. I mean, it should work in the mud anyway. The thing says it's waterproof. I'm not sure if I like these things. I really am not sure if I like them at all. This is taking too long and way too many sparks in my opinion. There, now it's burning. It is burning. Is it going to continue burning? No, it went back out. This is why we test our stuff. It went back out. Let's see if I can prepare it a little better. Try it one more time and then give you my honest opinion on it. So again, focus camera. I'm going to pull it apart apparently. I'm going to pull it apart. You really want to do it like a cotton ball and pull as many threads out as you can. Make the smaller fibers come out of the cotton. Expose it as much as possible to the middle of this thing, just as much as possible. The more fine threads you have exposed, the more sparks will get on the fine threads, and the more likely you are to actually have a fire. Just saying. This video might run long, but I'm not editing none of this out, because this is just a real life test here, and that's how real life tests work. You do it, you get it done. You get it done right, or you just don't get it done. I'm closing the multi-tool. Maybe it was the saw I used. I can't remember which one of these tools threw the best sparks. It's the saw blade. It's thinner, and that's what throws sparks. And that thing's burning now. Saw blade. Can you see it over there? Will it stay burning? It was submerged for quite a while. It's burning. Alright, that being said, let me move it somewhere else. Just put it over there in the mud, because I've already got sticks burning. It's a leaf. That's why I cleared that spot over there. How I ended up over here, I don't know. Alright, so I made feather sticks with this. And yeah, you've seen that. I mean, it's burning good now. You've seen that the other one burned for as long as it burned. And alright, I'm back. I had a phone call that annoyed me, so I had to answer that. That thing's still smoldering there. Not anymore. And like I said, I'm going to give you another test. I did not bring my good tripod, or my taller tripod, so I got to figure out where I'm going to put this thing. Standing in the mud, and going to try to do a quick test on that. That would be a good test. Is that hickory? Somebody tell me if that's hickory, because it kind of looks like it. So what I'm going to do is try to attach this tripod up here to this limb. This isn't going to be good enough view. Let's see if I can just attach it over here somewhere. Sorry for the wind. I know it's windy. That's dead wood. I need a better test subject. Just a better test subject is definitely needed. I can see a couple of them, but finding a place to put the camera when I'm testing it is the problem. The life of a YouTuber. Find a place to film. Alright, maybe this will work. That's pretty thick, and it's not really damaging the already damaged environment in this particular place that I'm in. Just try to make it so you can see. Keep the tripod from falling. Can you see? I can't see. Okay, that's that. Let me go grab the thing, because I left it way back here. And yeah, I have the Bluetooth earbuds, so I can still talk while I'm walking a good distance from the phone. Alright. First thing I'm going to test is this. This is a Corona folding saw that I picked up from Lowe's several years ago. It's a pruning saw. It's about a 7-inch blade, and I don't like it. And I don't like it because it kind of sucks. It's not too bad. I mean, it's just not too bad. And yeah, I'll come back for that firewood in the fall if I'm still in this state, which is very questionable. Next, I'm going to try to turn the camera and not drop it Not dropping it is the harder part. I'm using a smartwatch. That's just the weirdest thing. But I can actually see if I'm in the frame, which is beneficial. This is a Agua Canyon, I believe, Boreal 21 folding bow saw. I will be posting a link to this in the description. Has a 21-inch bow saw blade. 21-inch. How's that look? Yeah? Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to turn the camera back around. Try not to drop the phone. Who wants to buy me a DSLR camera so I don't have to deal with these weird phone tripods anymore? It's the only reason I need it, because I don't like phone tripods. Oh yeah, that's a shaky video. Stay. Alright, I'm going to cut the thicker piece. Now, obviously what I was just using was a pruning saw, a folding pruning saw. You can see the teeth on this thing are way more aggressive. This thing has blade options of a bone saw blade, all-purpose blade, which is what this is, and it came with an extra one for the set I got. Or I believe it has a fine metal cutting blade. But this takes any 21-inch blade that looks like that you can put on this thing. So you can get them from anywhere. And this will be the first time I've ever actually used it. And I believe it cuts on the pull. Yeah, it does. I am hardly applying any force whatsoever. Don't fall, phone. Don't fall. And I wasn't even doing the full stroke, as you can see. And look at that. It's down. That's awesome. I like this thing. I really like this thing. Stay, phone. Stay. Alright. Folding bow saw. Let me do this because I got this thing on. There we go. I can see. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Just to be able to see myself on my wrist to make sure I'm in the frame and showing you what I need to see. And that you can hear me with the earbud. Technology, I'm good with it. It's awesome. I'm not really fond of the tracking software and all of it. That's why I have GPS jammers. So this thing, you can get it without the sheath. And it's a lot cheaper. With the sheath and the extra blade, I believe it was right around $100. And it came with a Boreal 21 bow saw blade, 21 inches. If you can see that. It says it has an all-purpose, which is what this is, an aggressive blade, which is probably more for hardwood, or a hunter's blade, which is for bone and, yeah, processing game. The sheath is pretty nice. It has a snap. I'm trying to make sure I'm still in the frame. It has a snap. It has molly loops on the back all the way down it, so you can attach this to your backpack. This blade comes with a yellow handle or a green handle. They actually make a smaller one and a bigger one than this. I can't remember the sizes, but you can look it up on their website. I am going to share the link for just this one from Amazon in the description. And putting it together was really easy. Taking it apart is the same. Always do it away from your body so that you don't cut yourself. And then it just folds back up into itself like so. Put the handles together like so. And then that's that. Drop it back in the sheath. And we'll call it done. So obviously, that worked way better than this. This is getting put into a secondary bag because I'm not carrying this anymore now that I have this. This is the best saw, camping saw, folding saw that I have ever owned. And I will say that after one use, easily. Now, I've owned several of different kinds of these things. This thing is way better. And that's the all-purpose blade. I would love to see what it does with the aggressive blade. I'm going to have to try that out once I get a crossbow, hopefully one day soon. Hopefully. I will be getting the bone saw blade as well. So I'm taking you back over here to where I put the bug out bag, and I'm going to show you how I intend to attach this to my bug out bag, just because this video is probably running long, so why not? So this is where I was starting fires and making more mud. I'm trying to adjust the legs here on the tripod so it stands. Hopefully we can see that together. Now, I don't have any molly clips. I do have zip ties in this bag, but I don't have molly clips. Molly clips are, you know, they're for just this purpose, really. I'm putting my water containers back in the bag. They go on the other side here. So I do intend to attach this probably to the side. Maybe I'll attach it like that. Let's just turn you around so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, the watch is extremely helpful, I just gotta say. That's awesome. The problem with it is I tend to push the buttons and turn off the camera. I've done it once already. Okay, so these are climbing carabiners. So this is my temporary solution for not having to carry this in my hand all the way back out of here. Obviously, I haven't opened those particular two. Trash is going in my pocket. I do not contribute to trashing the environment as much as possible. I know everyone does anyway. If you throw something in a garbage can, it ends up in the environment somewhere anyway. But yeah, I'm going to see about using two of these climbing carabiners. These are rated for 2,000 some odd pounds. It's got the locking mechanism there. You screw it up to lock it. Standard carabiner. I'm going to attach it like so. And then, I don't know if you're seeing this or not. I just don't know. There we go, like so. Questioning whether I want to bother with the second one. Probably, otherwise it's going to be flopping around, but maybe not if I do this. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother with the second one, because that worked out very well. I hope you've seen it. I wasn't paying attention to see if you could see it, but I put it through the bottom loop there. I attached the carabiner up here, if you can see that. And this one I'm just going to attach to the outside of this backpack temporarily so I don't lose it. And that's that. My emergency kit back in my pocket. I do have my ferro rod back in it. I have all of the tools I came with back where they go. Except for this one is just in my pocket. I'm going to shove it right there for now to keep it from going anywhere. Possibly keeping it from going anywhere. Sorry for the crappy camera work. I know. I'm just getting my bag back together so that I don't have to do this twice. Alright. So that's that. That is my test of the fire plugs. I would recommend them for emergency use. There are better things. I gotta say, there are better things. But with more practice, using the right tool to spark it, it actually worked pretty well. So yeah, I would probably test them again and actually build a fire with them next time I use them. And hopefully the next time I come out, I won't be without the ones I made. I just didn't feel like walking back up there and getting them. I do have to put the rain jacket back in the backpack, but yeah, I'll get to that when I get to the car. I got to go up that trashy hill to get to the car. It's just, yeah, it's just trashy. It's, yeah. But anyway, I'm really getting sick of standing or sitting at my desk making videos. The GNN videos, I'll still make them. I'm just not going to promise to do it every week. I'm not going to promise to do anything every week. It's just starting to feel like a job to me, and I don't like it. I don't mind making the videos, and I do have one that I've got mostly recorded that has a lot of editing that needs to be done before I can get it online. So it will probably be up this week, but I'm not going to promise when or anything like that anymore. I want to do more videos outdoors. I want to do more videos testing gear, showing survival skills, shelter building, things like this. And those videos I cannot put out every day. So I'm going to try it as many as I can, as often as I can. But yeah. So that being said, let's have a look at the view. It's running water. It's nice out. It's a little chilly, but doesn't bother me. Alright, I'm going to call it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been James with Grim Survival. I'll see you next time.